Greetings, my name is Timothy. I am probably just like you in that I am a human being. I am a reflection of yourself, being that a human being is a miracle. We are living life changers, human transformers, transforming the air we breathe, the food we eat, and transforming as we grow, as we move through time. And so we are transformed by time. And in these videos, we're talking about the nature of the times. I am a practicing astrologer, and I do offer readings and workshops through my website at the link below. Those looking for a last-minute gift, I do offer gift certificates as well. Now, in this video, we're going to largely be focusing on the upcoming winter solstice / full moon in Cancer. There's a lot of activity going on this approaching weekend of the 22nd and the 23rd. And of course, this is the very end of 2018. At the very end of every year, we have the winter solstice around the 21st of December. And of course, what the winter solstice indicates is a seasonal change where the Earth's north pole is the most tilted away from the sun's incoming rays, and those sun's incoming rays are aligned with the invisible line known as the Tropic of Capricorn. This is the summer solstice on the southern hemisphere, winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. At this exact moment where the sun's incoming rays is as far south on the Earth's tilt as it reaches throughout its year, this is the exact moment that the sun enters the tropical zodiac sign of Cancer. And of course, I am certainly a tropical zodiac using astrologer. The tropical zodiac reflects the nature, the relationship between the sun and the earth, the seasons. It is not related to the constellations, of course. Neither is the sidereal zodiac, but of course that's a separate conversation. There's a lot of confusion in the world of astrology, and NASA's misinformation usually does not help that. But yes, cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And these cardinal signs, which create the cardinal cross in the zodiac, indicate the changing of a season. When we're going around the circle, when the planets are circulating the sun, we can only move in any one given direction for so long before there is a changing of direction, a changing of the seasons. For example, in the northern hemisphere, the days will begin getting longer. The days will stop getting shorter. And so the cardinal signs indicate this initiation of a new direction, a new journey, a new experience, even a new evolutionary intention in terms of where our souls are evolving and growing towards. This is what the energy and the nature of the cardinal signs represents. And so, of course, we have this very charged winter solstice this year, not only joined with a full moon in Cancer, but Mercury joins Jupiter and Venus is in an exact trine to Neptune, all on the same day, December 21st. So this is a powerful indicator that the next 4 months, this next season, winter in the north, summer in the south, is a time of change. And it's a time of really tuning in to our higher self, our deeper self, and finding alignment with where the journey can be taking us from here, which is the initiation of an exploration. This is a very exploratory year of 2019, considering Jupiter will be square to Neptune throughout most of this next year. And this Mercury-Jupiter conjunction going on this next week is very much foreshadowing and illuminating this direction of growth and expansion, of a new philosophical journey, and it carries the theme of us exploring and questioning some of our deepest beliefs. Now, this winter solstice, the moment the sun enters the sign of Capricorn, on the flip side of the Earth, on the flip side of the zodiac, the moon is moving into her full phase. And there will be a full moon at the first degree of Cancer. And of course, the moon is at home and most strong and powerful in her own sign. The moon naturally rules Cancer. Cancer rules our own emotional body, our self-image, and our own inner core. The Cancer-Capricorn polarity is the security axis. Cancer is our inner emotional security, where Capricorn is our outer physical security. This full moon tends to bring up the dynamic between the two poles of these different security types, and the intention to bridge these things together to be secure both inside and out. Secure. And of course, this full moon tends to line up with Christmas, holiday, New Year, crazy season every year, where we get that push and pull between family, work, money, and celebration. And so yes, this full moon definitely carries these themes, and we'll get much deeper into it later when we talk about the square to Chiron that's here as well. But first of all, let's get back to this full moon being at the first degree of Cancer. There is this initiation instinctual type of flavor at 0 degrees of any sign. To illustrate this, I'm going to read the Sabian symbol for this degree of Cancer, which reads, "A sailor ready to hoist a new flag to replace an old one." So again, there's this seasonal change of the winter solstice. There's this desire to go into a new direction. The great astrologer Dane Rudhyar clarifies this Sabian symbol to mean the desire to align oneself with a larger, more significant life trend. There's a desire to get into the new. Again, a lot of this can deal with security, how to feel inwardly safe, outwardly safe, and be able to connect with those who reflect back this sense of safety. That way we can be who we truly are. Cancer is about our being nature. It's about who we are and not just what we do, whereas Capricorn largely reflects our role in the world, our image in the public sphere, our work, our career, whereas Cancer is our family, our home, our past, our upbringing, our history. And it's no wonder that Cancer is therefore the source of our emotions. Emotions are related to everything that we've known and experienced in the past. If we had a scary experience with a black dog, the next time we see a black dog, we have a particular feeling that comes up. These emotions and feelings inform us of who we truly are. It informs us of our past, our history, and our inner emotional security needs. Well, oftentimes these emotions are released through triggers. All of the cardinal signs have this instinctual initiation of a new direction type of flavor to them. This initiation happens through Cancer, through instinctual emotional release. So there can certainly be instinctual outbursts, emotional releases, insecurities, feelings that are being exposed and illuminated by this full moon. And as always, I encourage us to follow these trail of breadcrumbs, these feelings inside, so to discover what our emotional needs are, what gives us a sense of safety, and where these new directions can be opening up, so that way we can feel very satisfied by what we're doing. Again, the Sabian symbol clarified by Dane Rudhyar is about aligning with a significant life trend. So this is about the initiation of the journey into self-security. And the old feelings, the suppressed feelings, the historical old stories can be resurfacing to illuminate some of these past wounds, which can be very, very inspiring and healing the future direction that is opening up, that can very much lead us into resolving these old wounds, tying up the loose ends, or ending any patterns surrounding self-sacrifice, putting ourselves last, carrying the world on our shoulders, overextending, overburdening ourselves. or not really having the emotional support, or not allowing ourselves the emotional support, which can come through emotional suppression or denial, or trying to be stoic or tough, or the opposite, ending up in patterns of self-victimization, whininess, clinging on to other people and expecting them to save us, which is a similar reflection of disempowerment. It's almost like they're two sides of the same coin, and whether we're putting ourselves last or we're putting ourselves first by vomiting our vulnerabilities and our emotions, that tends to repulse and turn people off, and then we feel just as alone as if we ignored those feelings and emotions. So there's a need to go into our emotions to create a foundation of safety, to find community and connections where we can express ourselves and be accepted in who we are. And there is also a level here of having to be our own parent, where we can nurture and nourish ourselves, give ourselves pat on the backs where we deserve it, be our own father who's saying, I'm proud of you, you're doing a good job, you got all the bills paid, you got all the presents bought, you deserve that pat on the back. And being our own internal mother saying, and you deserve to sit down with a nice hot cup of cocoa in front of the fire and relax with the nice slippers as well. Again, this tension between Capricorn and Cancer can bring up this dynamic of too much work and not enough time to play, too much family obligation and not enough time to do work. And the real healing opportunity is to work from both ends, to find creative solutions so we can be with our family and not lose our obligation, and stay structured and practical and not sacrifice our own emotional needs and our own need to feel a safe community and connection with others. Let's turn to Venus in Scorpio, who has just completed her retrograde period that was ongoing since the second week of October. The last several months, tremendous amount of upheaval and digging and transformation and change in terms of our relationships, in terms of who and how we're connecting and sharing with others, and in terms of our own deeper heart's values and passions. This retrograde has been about getting rid of the superficialities to get into our deepest heart's desires and needs, to be able to connect and share intimately with those who reflect similar values back to us. Now, this Venus is coming up to asteroid Ceres, and on the winter solstice will be in an exact trine to Neptune in Pisces. This is a very deep, very sensitive, very warm time. And Venus joined with Ceres in Scorpio is very much about embodying the divine feminine. This is the deep feminine, the real feminine. And the sensitivity of the water signs of Scorpio and Pisces is this sensitivity of merging with the other, connecting with the other deeply and intimately. These last several months, we've been taking our relationships to a deeper level. We've been renewing our commitments. We've been renewing our vows. We've been exposing the clutter and the distractions and the hang-ups that get in the way. So to find out how we can honor each other's needs and nurture and nourish one another. Ceres is the great mother asteroid. She is a minor planet floating in the asteroid belt, and she is very much correlated to this archetype of Cancer, the mother, the home. Ceres was like the Mother Nature figure of the Roman paradigm. She's where the word cereal comes from. She's the goddess of grain. She's the ruler of the seasons. And Ceres has this principle of nurturance, what makes us feel safe inwardly, just like Cancer. Oftentimes, Ceres can reflect our own needs that can go back to when we were children. What makes us feel safe? What makes us feel nurtured on that deep and almost primal level? Now, Venus joined with Ceres is this capability to embody this deep, nurturing, nourishing, healing, transformative feminine. Ceres in Scorpio wants to nurture and transform. She wants to move forward softly. She wants to hold the inner flame of passion in a way that can express that passion in a nurturing, nourishing, uplifting, inspiring type of way, by giving us a safe space to transform, by creating this environmental security in our relationships, by taking our relationships deeper, opening up, being vulnerable, exposing all of the skeletons. What follows is we are safe to be who we are. We have nothing to hide, and we're still sharing space together. That's the gift of this aspect. It's the wisdom of the divine feminine. The divine feminine holds space. The divine feminine feels, penetrates into, and merges with others. So to be empathetic, so to reciprocate, so to meet others where they're at, using that sensitivity as a gift. This is also a deep wisdom of the female psyche, the feminine unconscious, what speaks through feelings, what speaks through spirit, what speaks through that mysterious divine flow is the deep feminine psyche. And all of us, man, woman, grown-up child, has this feminine psyche. It is our soul. And we're able to tune into this deep wisdom coming through our feelings, coming from our deeper, embodied, physical intuition. That's the water trine. It's the sensitivity of the psychics that comes through feeling, that comes through merging with the surrounding, empathetic, penetrative merging. So there's this capability to really nurture and nourish through creative and sexual expression. Venus and Ceres in Scorpio can be erotic tenderness. You're safe to go into your deepest desires, and it will be warm feeling. You're safe to express your unconscious hidden needs, your ulterior motives. It will be okay. We can work with these things. We can move through these things gently, softly. There is this depth that can come from this openness. It's like we don't even know this deep feminine nature in this day and age very well. For example, when we see erotic sexual expression, do we even see it very often or hear it as tender and nurturing and slow and gentle when we're watching the movies or when we see this pornography? No, it's like this is what's missing, and this gives us a deeper sense of safety, a deeper sense of intimacy, but really it goes beyond just the outer expression to this being able to be who we are in our deepest, most rawest nature and connect and share with others in their deepest, most raw nature, and it be okay. We will support one another, and there are even lessons and themes of healing and love and giving back to the world that can come from these explorations as we do open up to our deeper nature and explore our shadows, knowing that that's what life is all about, and all of the gems and treasured are buried in the deep. Mercury joins Jupiter on the winter solstice. Big party going on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this weekend. Charged period. Mercury is the left brain, the rationality, our logical, logistical, breaking apart and discerning facts and information coming from our environment, part of ourselves. Gemini polarity. On the opposite end is Jupiter in Sagittarius, which is our right brain intuition, the bigger picture perspective. Like life itself is a topographical map, the bird's eye view, universal laws, natural principles that are true, all places and everywhere, is Sagittarius. When Mercury passes Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, our left and right brain can become integrated and bridged together. It is a time of receiving higher insight, information from our intuition, seeing from that bird's eye perspective where things have been leading. Now, Mercury is coming out of a retrograde. Mercury first passed Jupiter in late Scorpio in October. then stationed retrograde and made a retrograde pass to Jupiter mid-November, and now is making a third and final pass to Jupiter in Sagittarius. This is somewhat important because Jupiter is transiting his own sign of Sagittarius, which only happens once every 12 years. Sagittarius really is this big picture, higher awareness perspective, and this Mercury-Jupiter conjunction is happening on the south node of Uranus as well. So we can get some profound insights. It's like we can see into the future. We may be seeing so many years or so many steps down the line, and the key here is to be very open and flexible, because these intuitions may be coming in, but they may be so big we may be exploring them through this next year to come. The downloads, the insights, the eureka moments may be coming through, and yet this may be beginning a whole new chapter of what is this? What is the truth? What is my belief? How does this work? How is this real? And this can open up these new dimensions of reality. And so I would say, Mercury and Jupiter, and Mercury is coming into a square with Neptune coming up December 24th. And then Jupiter has his first square with Neptune coming up in mid-January. It's about allowing ourselves to kind of go off and to be exploring, to be dreaming. I mean, Mercury square Neptune is very dreamy, very imaginative, but can also be somewhat foggy, somewhat unclear, somewhat nebulous, uncertain. What is true? Do we really know everything? What do you know? What does this transit mean? What do I know? I think we need to really take that sense of what do I know? What does anybody know? We need a little bit of that with this Mercury-Jupiter Sag. Sometimes Sagittarius can get very carried away by this lofty insight. My goodness, the truth is this, The shadow of Sagittarius is when it gets all one size fits all. Oh, you need this, and this is what it means to be a human being, and we all go here after we die, And it's like, yeah, some of the insights that are coming in can be big, can be real, can be true, and yet life is complicated. This energy can very, very much be just like, wow, new ideas, new directions, new possibilities. Let's do it. Let's go for it. Yeah. And do it. Go for it. But keep in mind, it may not be a quick win. It's not necessarily winning the jackpot and everything is figured out from here on out. There can be very good things that are coming from this, but we have to be prepared for future adjustments, future insight, and more information that will allow us to understand the details and how to actually make this a reality in the flesh and not just a lofty idea that we're going to escape into. These big, lofty, universal truths and our subjective little me human experience are very different dimensions, and they're connected together. So it's not saying one is right and the other is wrong or vice versa. It's about exploring, hey, how is this affecting me practically in the world? Is this helpful or not? Beliefs can be helpful or not. We talked about this in the last video. A belief can inspire us, give us energy, uplift us, or cripple us, make us, unable to function in the world or society. So there is this new insights coming in, but it may be just a beginning of an exploration. It's like we're really learning what this intuition is. It's beginning this journey of exploration. And this Mercury-Jupiter in a third quarter square to Neptune, this third quarter square is called the crises in consciousness. And that's not to say, our consciousness is going to go through a crisis. It's this, what? What is life? This is possible? This is true? This is what I've believed up until this point, and there's more? Yes, expect there to be more. Expect not to know everything. And the belief system that we grew up with, the teachers that taught us, there's going to be more. And this crisis of belief is the opening up into more, because there is always a greater awareness of truth. And we're constantly expanding this awareness. That's what Jupiter in Sagittarius is. It's the principle of growth. Jupiter is our awareness that is constantly growing, just like the human species, our awareness is constantly growing. We used to think that the planet was flat, and what is it called? Continent. Goodness, Mercury must be square Neptune already. One continent is like a whole universe separated by this ocean, and then there's a whole other universe, and now we're going in outer space with satellites and rockets, and there's this globe, and there's other planets. Our awareness has expanded. And the real wisdom of Jupiter is the awareness that our awareness will continue to expand. We do not know everything, and maybe as that bubble of awareness continues to expand, something will enter that awareness that changes everything, and everything that we thought we knew or understood ends up becoming something else. We need to have that openness. When we do not have that openness, we have the type of beliefs or dynamics that can verily lead to crusade. I know the truth. Everyone needs to be in my religion. If they're not, they're going to hell. And so the greatest thing I can do is convert everybody to my religion, and then we create hell. So there is no one size fits all. Nobody knows everything. In fact, what do I know? Can you really trust me and everything that I'm saying to be your human experience? These transits are influencing tens of millions of souls on the planet at any given time. Yes, astrology is true. Yes, these themes will affect everybody, but everybody's a unique soul, and these transits affect everybody differently depending on your own individual. So I hope to God you don't just take everything that I say as truth on blind faith. Test it. Explore it. See if it makes sense to you, and if it doesn't, throw it out. Please. I would never want anybody to just believe what I'm saying just based off of belief. So there is this exploration of belief that will take us through the year of 2019, and that is just beginning, this winter solstice period. The great intuition and insights are there, and they are there for us to embrace, to tune into, to align with, and continue to explore through this coming year. This just leaves one more vital chunk for this full moon winter solstice period, and that is Chiron. We really talked about Chiron in the last video, December having this deeply Chironic flavor and theme to it. If you didn't catch that video, I think particularly the last 10 minutes, we talked about the nature of Chiron. Now, Chiron being the wounded healer, again, can be bringing up the sense of insecurity, wound, instability, this full moon, the reverberation between family. I feel like I can't spend enough time with them and I wish I could. I'm feeling nostalgic of my childhood. And then work. I don't have enough money. I can't afford the presents. I need security. I need to actually sit down and focus without all these distractions and holidays and family and Christmas cards. Blah, 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 blah. And so part of this Chiron is affecting the moon being squared to this full moon. And coming up on Wednesday, that's tomorrow, December 19th, Chiron, or the sun is square to Chiron. So there's this theme of healing our self-expression, healing our creativity, our sexuality, our individuality, coming into a sense of purpose that comes from who we uniquely are. There is this theme of healing our own unique self-expression with this sun square to Chiron. Sometimes this can also play out as a expression of the desire to heal, and then when the opportunity comes to heal, I don't know, I'd rather pretend that I don't need to heal. It can be this reverberation between I want to heal, I don't want to heal, I need to heal, it's too much to heal right now, I need help, I would rather fall asleep or watch on the TV and escape. So part of this Chiron dynamic can be coming up as well. And I encourage us to be gentle with ourselves, but be aware of these dynamics as they play out in ourselves, so we can just become aware of what we're running from, where we run to when we're running, and just understand what we're running from being the sense of woundedness is actually the medicine that's happening. That's where healing awareness goes into the places that might be uncomfortable, but where resolution and attention is needed. And so we're having to gauge, what do I need to feel safe right now versus all of these external obligations, work, family? What do I need to settle down to resolve my own healing journey? And again, with Chiron just stationed in Pisces, there's a lot of healing of innocence, healing from the theme of victimization, healing our physical bodies, healing from belief, the sense of where we lost our innocence in the past. All of these things are very much tied together oftentimes. Again, the last video we went into these themes in detail. Mars is coming up to Chiron Saturday, December 29th. There is this, again, Mars being very instinctual. This full moon at the first degree Cancer, very instinctual. With Mars, Chiron, there can be excessive energy, impulsiveness, reactivity, this kind of unconscious urgency. And that can play out either physically or emotionally or mentally, like all of the energy's there and very wound up, or it can be exhausted, lethargic, not wanting to get up and do anything. It can be the reverberation back and forth, or the combination of both. My body's physically exhausted, my emotions are reactive and energized, and boy, I can get angry even though I can't, pick myself up, to move across the room. This is very much about healing the physical body. Yes, the last 2 months, Mars has been transiting Pisces, as we've been saying the last 2 months. Physical energy, our own bodies, is more sensitive. A lot of people get sick when Mars goes through Pisces. Any medical issues that seem strange or nebulous or unresolved can be some of this Pisces, Chiron, Mars theme. And don't get swept off your feet if this is any of the case, as Mars moves into his own sign of Aries at the very end of the year, December 31st. Things can move much more in a clear, concise, energized direction beginning in January of this next year. So allow yourself to explore. Again, there is this aligning with what our bodies need. Mars over Chiron, aligning with what our bodies need, even in these deeper, more nebulous psychic sensitivities that we all have, the weird fears, the anxieties. Why do we feel these things? How can we use our body? What can we actively do to feel confident, to feel integrated? Chiron can bring up healing crises in order to spur the transformation and healing that is needed. This is very much a Chironic month that can be very productive in a deep and important way. So do keep your chin up if it's been a little tough, or if it feels like you're treading water or nothing's moving. Take it with a grain of salt the last couple weeks of December, because things can start to move forward much more clearly and concisely while Mars is in Aries from January 1st until February 14th. Last but not least, Uranus is stationing direct at 28 degrees of Aries on January 6th. This is Uranus's last station in Aries before he moves forward into Taurus in March of this coming year. So there's this theme of needing to recognize our own individual, independent needs and desires. The need to innovate, the need to rebel, the need to break free is all a part of this healing and this resolving of the conflict or the reverberation between inner emotional and outer physical security themes. We have to be a unique individual to be able to find work that honors what we want to uniquely creatively express and feel emotionally fulfilled by what we're doing. And so Uranus is square the moon's nodes these months, and it means we need to individuate, we need to revolutionize, we need to break free to honor our deeper individual desires. Yes, they may seem like selfish desires. No, they may not always make sense. We are unique souls. Let your freak flag fly. Be the person that you were made. You don't have to fit the cookie cutter. You don't have to be understood. Trying to be understood by everyone can only lead to self-sacrifice. And then the themes of victimization, exhaustion, being thrown under the bus repeat. So break the rules. Break free. Liberate yourself. Honor your desires. Honor your freedom needs. And then those needs will be recognized enough to integrate with our family, our home, our work, and our world. So my goodness, there's a lot of exciting things going on these weeks. I hope that it was concise and simple enough to keep up with. As we move into January, it's going to be Capricorn season, so get ready for Saturn and Capricorn the next time you see me. Let's see, coming up December 21st, I am doing a webinar with the new Paradigm Astrology Dream Team. Free webinar. Check out the link below. You can sign up. We're going to be previewing the next segment of our course, and we're going to be talking a lot about the transits to come. For example, I will be talking about Uranus in Taurus, which will be going on for roughly the next 8 to 9 years. So, happy holidays to all of you. Hang in there. I am wishing you absolutely all the best. And please do, as always, take care.